Bladesmiths, welcome to the Forge. Because this is Forged in Fire and we like to throw curveballs at people, in the first round of competition today, you'll be using these. Mining tools. So choose your mining tools wisely because all of these tools are made from different types of steel. Your 3-hour forge time starts now.
We have the option of using 1085 carbon, but I'm gonna play it safe. I'm not gonna do a forge weld. It's still more beneficial for me to go with an unknown source of steel than to spend my time possibly doing a forge weld that might not have a good hardened spine.
Come on, baby, get hot.
Interesting. He's putting the whole pickaxe head into the forge.
My plan is to use the back spike as a handle. That saves me the trouble of having to go to the bandsaw and cut it off. I've got a built-in handle, why not use it?
I like to hope that he's going to try stretching one end of that pickaxe out, see how much he can get out of it.
I'm not going to try and forge weld. I trust this steel better than I do my time management.
My plan is whack the metal really hard. My concerns is that I'm only using one metal, but I'm doing what I feel comfortable with.
After I've got the blade profile the way I want it, I start drilling holes for my dowels to go through. The bits are screaming. Oh my gosh. So 2 things are going on. Either the bit is very dull or my blade's already hard.
Storm, grabbing a new drill bit.
I've probably got 10 or 15 minutes into drilling one hole.
There he goes.
All right.
I'm loving this power hammer. This thing does in seconds what it would take me hours and lots of aspirin to do. I feel great. Woo!
I don't have a power hammer at home. I've never even seen one. I prefer to hammer shape it. I remember my great-grandfather pouring water onto his homemade anvil and hitting it, and that's what symbolized the blacksmith to me. I'm gonna try and stand out by doing something with a little bit more of my style, which is more of an artist's approach.
Yeah, he's just marking that blade up.
I like it.
I'm trying to create something a little bit more artistic. I think straight lines complement curves.
He's putting some part of himself in there, the look.
Something that's a little bit more imperfect, but handmade.
Storm is just quenched.
Everything seems good, but there's a slight warp. I don't want to turn in a warped blade. That's just one reason for me to go home. If I do a 3-prong pinch in the vise, I might be able to take this warp out. I'm grabbing a torch and I'm trying to get this thing back straight. Ha ha! It's straight, and I just feel so relieved.
I'm getting ready to quench the blade. I'm nervous, I've got butterflies, the adrenaline's pumping. I've got tunnel vision. I can't see what's going on around me. Everything looks straight. I don't see any cracks. Thank you, Lord.
Neil's in the quench.
I really enjoy the fact of a knife being shaped about 80–85% of what its end result is going to be. But my biggest concern is that they don't like my style. Like it's a little too primitive or it's a little too unfinished for them.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bladesmith, shut down your machines, drop your tools. Your forging time is over.
Bladesmiths, welcome to the strength test. You each get 3 coconuts, 1 shot each. Remember, this is not about what happens to the coconuts, it's about what happens to your knife. Neil, you're up first. You ready?
Yes, sir.
Neil, it chopped cleanly. It felt comfortable. Got a little bit of a curve to the blade, but you had that before. Your edge held up fine. Nice job, Neil.
Thank you. Being from Hawaii, if I had a knife that didn't cut a coconut, I would never hear the end of it.
Ready, Dan?
Yes, sir.
Let's do it. Dan, I was concerned because you have a much thinner edge here, but apparently you dialed the heat treat in just right. You did take some of our advice by reducing some of this thickness here. I wish it had been a bit more because you have that bend in the blade. It's not in line with my hand, but it held up tight. Nice job, Dan.
Thank you.
Storm, what are you thinking?
I'm nervous, very nervous.
Well, we're gonna do it anyway.
Yes, sir. My heart's beating out of my chest.
Storm, we've got some definite edge damage, some chipping and rolling. I'm worried that all of that over-forging, continually heating, straightening, might have pulled some of the strength out of your blade. Your handle stayed tight, though. I appreciate the fact that you have, that little bit of belly on there that helps me hold on to it. Didn't hold up 100%, but you still did a very nice job.
Thank you kindly.
To test the sharpness of your blade, I will take your blade and slash across these ratchet straps. Neil, you're up first. You ready?
Yes, sir.
Let's do this.
Okay.
Well, Neil, it's nice that you made the little adjustments that we requested. Your little finger weld there did not get in the way. It's very smooth, but it feels good in the hand. Overall, your blade will cut.
Right on.
Good job. Dan, you're up next. You ready?
Yes, sir.
Let's do this. All right, Dan, let's talk about your blade. Your handle. I like the way it feels. It's got a good grip, nice finger swell right there so I can hold on to your blade. It's sliced nicely, it feels good in the hand. But when you look at it, you still have a slight warp to that. But overall, your blade will cut.
Thank you.
All right, Storm, it's your turn. You ready?
More than ever.
Let's do this. Good. Okay, Storm, let's talk about your blade. It is one of the smoothest handles we've ever had from a second round. Good job on that.
Thank you.
Here's some of the issues, though. It's a small handle. When you're working with blades that are bigger than your hand, it becomes blade heavy. You start chopping and hitting around it, it wants to leave the hand because it's so smooth. Your blade here almost has serrations now. It grabbed onto the ratchet straps and cut all the way through. Overall, your blade will cut.
Waited a long time to hear that. Thank you.
Bladesmiths, the judges have made their final decision. It's time for one of you to leave the forge. Storm, your blade did not make the cut.
Storm, your energy and enthusiasm in the forge was amazing to watch. I mean, you've obviously got a passion for this, and you produced a fine piece. But the forging and the heat treat on your blade just couldn't stand up to the strength test with those coconuts, so that's why we have to send you home today.
Completely understood.
Storm, please surrender your blade.
Would have been nice to go further, but it's the way the cards fell, and that unfortunately led to me going home. Failure isn't fatal, and success isn't final. It's the courage that counts. So I'll keep living by that motto and moving forward.
Congratulations, Bladesmiths. Your work has elevated you to the third round of this competition. Now we're sending you back to your home forges so that you can recreate an iconic weapon from history. That weapon is the Cinquedea. Developed in Italy during the Renaissance, the Cinquedea gained popularity among civilian noblemen. This large, double-edged sword delivered lethal cuts in close-quarter attacks and was worn on the hip to be swiftly drawn in times of threatening encounters. Derived from the Italian word for the number 5, the name Cinquedea represents the blade measuring 5 fingers wide at the base, which became an excellent canvas for intricate artwork. With functionality in mind, swordsmiths also included fullers to lighten the weight of this otherwise heavy sword. Although the Cinquedea lost its popularity after the 16th century, it has recently made a comeback in the video game Assassin's Creed. Good luck, Bladesmiths.
We're here at my home forge in Kailua Kona, Hawaii on the Big Island. This is gonna be the most challenging thing I've made so far. I don't even know how to pronounce it. I'm using leaf spring that I got at a junkyard. I find there's a beauty in taking something that somebody would throw away and making it into something they keep forever. So I'm trying to incorporate the rest of this metal into an integral guard by bending these pieces down. I literally do everything by eye. I rarely measure anything. You know, so it's not gonna be this perfectly symmetrical piece, but it's gonna have the hand-felt look. They didn't do it back then on some machine. They were doing it by hand.
This acute swell is not comfortable in your hand. It's like the opposite.
Got the shape outlined. I got the fuller started. I'm excited to do this.
It's day 3. Having to cut a hole in the back of my forge took some time, but I feel like I made good progress on the blade. I've got it profiled the way that I want. Feels a lot better in the hand now. So now it's coming to the most challenging part, putting in the fullers. So I've got the blade in the mill, and the milling bit is just skating right over the surface. It's polishing, it's not cutting. So option B is to try freehanding it with a file, and the file is just dancing over the surface of the blade. So option C is to try to freehand it on the grinder. That just looks terrible. This is like a perfect storm of anxiety. Doing something for the first time that's very challenging. How to solve this problem. $10,000 on the line. So I use a smaller milling bit, and lo and behold, it just starts biting into that steel just the way I want it to. It's cutting a slot. Smiths who are sneering at me for not forging them in.
Day 3, and it's hard to sleep because all I think about is this sword. I want to show to the judges that I'm not afraid of work and that I can accomplish something that I put my mind to.
It's the most important step.
I'm about to hit a heat treat. I couldn't wait to do it all day, and now that it's time, I'm scared because it could fail.
Worst case scenario, my blade could warp, it could crack.
And then I would have to start all over again.
No warps, no bends.
It was straight. File tested it.
It's hard.
So I'm happy. This is still a competition. It's not like the stress is off. Anything could happen at any given time.
Day 4, it's time for the heat treat. My heart is beating fast. It's just this feeling, this culmination. It's the climax of the story. If anything is gonna go wrong, it's gonna happen now. As I'm watching it, I can visibly see it starting to curl over. If I'm gonna keep this blade straight, now is the time. Don't you do it! Don't you do it! Don't you bend! Boys and girls, we have got a hard, straight blade. I'm happy, I'm relieved. Oh, I can finish now. Now it's just a matter of assembling the pieces, getting everything fit and finished, tight and square and sharp.
Day 5, this is it.
Just kind of messing with the guard a little bit, try and make it a little bit more fancy.
I'm feeling the pressure because David Baker and Jay Nielsen and Doug are gonna look at it extremely closely, and it's pretty nerve-wracking. But at the end of the day, I feel confident that my blade is strong, and I would take it to battle. What do you think? You think you could win? I hope so. My son Maddox and I would watch this competition, and now that I get to show him a sword that I made for the competition, we're both in a little dream right now. You proud of your daddy? Give me a kiss.
The chinkudeo was used for civilian dress, but it served one purpose: to kill. I will take your weapon and deliver killing blows to this big carcass. Dan, you're up first. You ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, Dan, On the backhand slash, cut all the way through and lacerated the ribs. On the other edge, it cut the spine in half. The balance of the blade makes it very wieldable in combat. Your weapon will kill.
Thank you.
All right, Neil, you ready?
Ready?
Let's do this. Okay, Neil, this is heavier compared to Dan's blade, but the edges are sharp enough to lacerate the spine all the way through. The base and the weight allows for a power slash. Overall, your Cinquedea will kill. Good job. Up next is the sharpness test. We will test both of the edges of your blades by delivering a strike across these ratchet straps. Dan, you're up first. You ready?
Yes, sir.
Let's do this. My hand will tend to choke up all the way to the guard. This weight distribution basically pulls the blade away. Definitely the sword on both sides is easy enough to slash through and deliver a slice that cuts through all these ratchets. Your blade, sir, will cut.
Thank you.
Good job. Neil, your turn. You ready?
Ready?
Let's do this. The dimensions of your handle really fit my hand. Anywhere I go, it stays right where it has to be. Your edge easily cut through these ratchets on both sides. Your blade will cut. Good job.
Right on.
Gentlemen, to test the strength of your weapon, I'm going to chop into this ice block 4 times with each edge of your sword. Dan, you're up. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now the other side. Well, I don't see any chipping or warping, so the edge held up very nicely. That guard is so lean that as I'm striking, the blade wants to turn in my hand.
Okay.
But I did a good job. Nicely done. So, Neil, your turn. You ready?
Ready?
Now the other side. This is heavy. You see the Cinquedeas with the multiple fullers, and the purpose of that is to take that mass out of it. It's not balanced badly because you've got really thick tang on there. I see no damage. I can't feel any rolling, so it held up beautifully. Nicely done.
Thank you.
Gentlemen, you've both done fantastic work, but in this arena of competition, there can only be one Forged in Fire champion. Neil, congratulations. You are the Forged in Fire champion. Dan, it's that time. Please surrender your weapon.
I came here to win. I wanted to win, but Neil made something that was better. I'm going to go home, I'm going to go back to my life, and I'm going to go back to my craft. I still love bladesmithing.
Neil, you picked a hell of a way to tell the world that you're here. Congratulations, you are the Forged in Fire champion, and we'll be receiving that check for $10,000. What are you feeling right now?
It's overwhelming.
Great job.
My son is going to be ecstatic that I won. We've been watching this show on the couch last season to me being on it. Forged in Fire champion, that's me. So crazy.
Bladesmiths, welcome to the Forge. I'm sure that you noticed on your anvil in front of you, you have a high-quality billet of steel. You'll be using that today, but there's a twist. Today, I'm feeling a little bit nautical. While forging your signature blade in your signature style today, you will also have to incorporate an element from the sea anchor or chain into your blade's construction using a sand mine or inlay technique. Good luck, bladesmiths. Your 10-minute design window starts now.
I'm gonna use a chain. It's the right size, and I think I can work it. But I'm designing a Bowie knife because it's always superior cutter. It's my favorite. 14.5. I build knives to be durable, functional, high-performance blade is where it's at.
I'm going to use a little anchor chain because the anchors, I don't know what they're made out of. I'm just going to go with a plain Bowie-style butcher knife. It's a simple knife to make. I feel really good about this because I'm good at adapting.
Ideas start flowing, and I'm starting to think, okay, chain. Chain's something I can cut straight pieces out of. I can put a handle on it. As I'm designing the blade, I am thinking I'm gonna go with something I love to make, which is somewhere between a sax and a sheep's foot. This is my chance to take an absolute surprise and turn it into something completely functional, maybe even beautiful if I do a good enough job.
The design period is now closed. Grab your steel because your 3-hour forge time starts now.
First thing I grab, those smaller links.
The chain's so heavy, really all of us has got to work together because we've got to break at least one link before anybody can have their own. I work with junk iron all the time in my shop, so nothing's the right shape when I start with it. My plan is to take the wrought iron, flatten it out, and get 2 flat pieces, and then sandwich it on both sides of the W2. I'm gonna get both my pieces in the fire at the same time, and so when I get one cold, I can swap it out with the other one and work it until I combine them. I'm just trying to turn that crap into something that looks like a knife.
Something ain't getting hot, man. The piece of W2 is like 10 inches long, and I want to get the wrought iron, draw it out at least to that length and that width, and sandwich and forge weld them all together.
Here we go.
My biggest concern coming into this challenge is getting a solid forge weld from wrought iron to this high carbon steel. Today's my first time ever using a power hammer. It is so cool, it's so efficient, so fast. It makes everything about this a dream come true.
Okay, let's measure this son of a bitch now. Damn it. I realized that I can't get the wrought iron the perfect size as the W2. I'm running out of time, so I just had to cut him short.
I think we have our first stack.
I'm a little nervous welding the W2 and the wrought iron together. It's something I've never done.
Might not be the damn purtiest thing, but maybe it'll work.
When I get the wrought iron straight, I cut both pieces and then sandwich it on both sides of the W2 and go for a forge weld and hope for the best. There goes nothing.
Buster's just cooking that metal like you wouldn't believe.
I got on the power hammer. It's not going real good. I made a couple of mislicks and got my blade too thin right in the center. And I'm seeing inclusions and bad places in my blade, so I'm just trying to grind off what I can. It's not working. I'm not feeling good at all about it.
My wrought iron and my high carbon steel, they've been drawn out to a sufficient length. And now it's time to start welding my billet together.
So Rachel is over here. She's been at the welder for a while. Hopefully, everything comes together real nice.
Sanmai is a technique I really know very little about, and I really cannot wait to give this a shot. My biggest concern at this point is that the welds are not going to stick. When it comes down to forge welding, you never know. You never know until you're done.
Well, that don't look good. Man. I seen a cold shut on my blade, and I just went, oh my gosh, this blade's ruined. Come on, bitch. Sometimes you can save them, sometimes you can't. I hope I can pull this off. And I said, no, you're gonna pull it off. Damn, they're there.
Yeah, Sean's eating up his blade for a quench. I don't know if the other two are quenching or not.
Shazam! That's how you do it, boys.
I quenched my blade, but then I pulled my blade out, and I could see just a slight warp. But with time ticking down, I feel like I brought my A game and probably the best that I could do.
I'm noticing that I'm getting bends in my blade, so I'm trying to straighten it out during the normalizing process, which is not a real good idea.
Don't hit that anymore. Please don't hit that blade anymore.
Come out the second time on a normalized, it's crooked again. I have to straighten it, but that's all I got. I done run out of time. Hey, it's now or never. I got to dip this thing.
Big flame out. There you go. It's a good way to lose some beard hair there.
Do you see that? It looks fairly straight.
It does.
When I finally get the belt sander figured out, I am grinding away and I realize my blade is a little too long and thin. No! But time is flying by. It's time to get my blade quenched.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bladesmiths, this round is over.
All right, Bladesmiths, welcome to our strength test. Today's the wooden crate chop. I'm gonna take each of your blades and attempt 10 strikes through this wooden crate. It's gonna test the overall durability of your knife, edge holding, and we're gonna see not what your blades can do to this crate, but what the crate can do to your blades. Sean, you're up first. You ready?
Yes, sir.
Let's have some fun. That's what a chopper should do. Just a few little things right in here in your choil, that's sharp. I'd like to see that taken down. Narrowing down here would have made it a little more comfortable too. Swinging something this big and heavy, you want to have as much control as possible. Contouring with that palm swell in there is a big help in holding and wielding this knife. No damage to the edge or anything. Nicely done.
Thank you.
Rachel, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, let's do it.
Wow. Oh my God.
You okay?
I'm high on life right now.
Well, Rachel, you lost that little flake there. Nothing else seems to have opened up. The biggest problem I have with this knife is the balance. There's a lot of weight up here. There's not a lot of knife to support that tip. And whenever I'd strike on the crate, it's actually smashing into me in the webbing of the hand right there. Your edge is good though. It's still sharp. Held up nicely, good job.
Thank you.
Buster, how you feeling?
Insecure now.
Let's do it. Well, Buster, we've got a crack going from spine to edge, right where that thin spot is.
I figured it was.
That is a serious malfunction right there. It's only being held in this little belly of the clip. And if we go to straighten it for a sharpness test, I feel it's gonna break off.
I understand.
I'm sorry, but for safety reasons, we're not gonna be able to proceed to the sharpness test with your knife.
Okay.
Bladesmiths, the tests here in the forge are designed to be intentionally brutal for a reason. Not every bladesmith makes a blade that can complete the tests. Buster, unfortunately, your weapon has suffered catastrophic blade failure, and I have to ask you to please leave the forge.
I'm feeling very disappointed. I just came to prove to myself that I could compete and that I was better than some.
Rachel, Sean, congratulations. Your work on your nautically themed blades have propelled you into the final round of this competition. Now we're sending you back to your home forges for 5 days to recreate an iconic weapon from history. That weapon is the Kachin Dao.
The Kachin Dao was the weapon of choice for the Kachin tribe of Myanmar. Known for the disciplined fighting skills, the Kachin people used this terrifying slaughter tool to decapitate their enemies, leading them to become one of the most feared head-hunting tribes in the world. The sharp, single-edged blade flares out to a widened square tip that delivers lethal, slashing blows, and proves to still be a deadly weapon in popular television shows like Spartacus or The Damned.
It must be an authentic working version of this weapon. You do this well, and you could walk away with $10,000 and a new title. After 5 days, you'll return and present your blades to our panel of expert judges. Bon voyage, bladesmiths. Sean, Rachel, welcome back to the forge. You've had 5 days at your home forge to work on your Kachin dowels. Sean, how did it go?
It went real well. I chose the 5160 to forge my blade, hand satin finished, and the handle I did a canvas micarta.
Is it a $10,000 blade?
Yes, sir, I do believe so.
Rachel, how'd it go for you?
It was interesting, to say the least. I ended up going with the leaf spring. I stuck with my repurposing mantra and used a table leg for a handle and did a hamper wrap.
Feel like it's a $10,000 weapon?
I feel it is.
Well, bladesmiths, your weapons will now be put through a series of brutal tests. They're designed this way to set your weapons apart from one another. Up first is the kill test. Doug?
The Kachin dao was used to battle the jungles in Burma. It was also a weapon used to give them the title of headhunters. To see what kind of damage your Kachin daos will do, I will take your weapon and deliver slashing blows on this ballistics dummy. Sean, you're up first. You ready?
Yes, sir.
Let's do this.
There's a lot of things that could happen when they go through the test. A small chip, failure, and I'm just thinking the whole time, oh my God. There's a jawbone.
Yeah, it does.
Well, Sean, initial contact in here disemboweled this ballistics dummy. On a chop right here, it definitely chopped and cut all the way into the jaw. And on the backhand swing, you pretty much chopped the skull open. The blade feels good in the hand. It lacerates, it moves well. Your weapon will kill.
It's just like a big relief, says that thing's done everything that I thought it would. You put your mind to something and you can make it happen.
Rachel, it's your turn. You ready?
Ready as ever.
Let's do this.
Coming out to testing really was like a reality check. And I just go, oh man, this is the time where they get to say whether I sink or swim.
It's gonna do some damage.
We'll see.
Rachel, it's rattling. I gotta ask you, what's your construction with your handle?
That is a solid handle. And I did a wood pin, and then I wrapped it with rice glue.
Okay, rice glue, so there's no epoxy here.
I kept it traditional with traditional adhesives, and then the 3 layers of hemp wrap.
The fact that you have a wooden pin in there and rice glue, it shouldn't move. It's traditional, and it's moving. And that's a big concern whether it's gonna stay there. This competition, first and foremost, is always about safety first. And the kind of force that I want to deliver over here is the kind of force that I deliver to that. So I don't want to hold back for fairness of testing. And I have no confidence that with everybody being this close and the amount of delivery I have to do on this dummy, it's a big safety issue. I'm really afraid that this knife is going to fly out.
I'm crushed. I wanted this weapon to be tested. I want to see what it could do. But I didn't get enough time to really test this thing. And here's the end result.
Rachel, Doug, and the other judges have issued me a vote of no confidence in your weapon's overall construction, which means that we cannot test it fairly compared to Sean's blade, and therefore your blade did not make the cut, and I have to ask you to please leave the forge.
My aim was historical accuracy, but it just came down to I did not use enough rice glue. My first time using it, this was a lot of firsts for me. My next step will be to make a worthy Kachin dao, and I want to hang it on my wall. I got you, Kachin dao. You know, like, now we're even.
Sean, congratulations. You are the Forged and Fire champion and will be receiving a check for $10,000. Good job. Thank you. Weapon's definitely a killer. How do you feel?
I feel great. I mean, I would like to see that thing go through all the other challenges, but oh well. I'm just tickled to death.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you, sir. Proud, very proud of what I did.
Good job.
That's why I'm here, you know?
Congratulations, sir.
I won! Forge and Fire. Yeah, baby. I'd like to have that head right there.
Here you go.